Picture this. You are standing in the lobby of a movie theater, preparing yourself to sit through yet another lackluster sequel in a franchise that probably should have ended a decade ago. You need a distraction. You need snacks. Specifically, you need a massive tub of popcorn and a drink to wash away the impending disappointment of a Jared Leto performance with a massive sugar rush. You pay the cashier and they hand you an empty cup. That's when you see it, glowing in neon red and polished chrome. The Coca-Cola Freestyle machine. This isn't just a soda fountain. It's a portal to over 100 different flavor possibilities. You could go with a cherry vanilla Coke or a peach Sprite. You could embrace chaos and mix Fanta with Powerade. Or perhaps you stick to the classics. But as you stand there, mesmerized by the touchscreen, you should know that this machine is doing a lot more than just dispensing a beverage. It is watching. It tracks every interaction. While you agonize over your flavor choice, it is quietly harvesting data that transforms paying customers into unwitting test subjects. This information is something Coca-Cola will profit from immensely. The company reportedly invested over $1 billion into developing this hardware, but they are likely converting its capabilities into savings and profits that far exceed that initial price tag. Today we are going to explore how a humble drink dispenser evolved into a global laboratory and what role you play in this grand experiment. The Coca-Cola Company stands as one of the single largest beverage producers on Earth. This conglomerate controls nearly 50% of the global soft drink market, generating billions in annual revenue. Historically, one of the most critical avenues for selling their liquid products has been the soda fountain. In the old days, the process was analog and simple. You walked up to a counter, stated your order, and an employee poured the drink for you. Eventually, self-service fountains arrived, shifting the power to the consumer. Now, you could fill your cup at your own discretion. For a child, this freedom was everything. It was an opportunity to mix every available flavor into a slurry that was truly undrinkable, but entirely yours. However, by 2006, Coca-Cola and other beverage giants noticed a troubling trend. For the first time since 1985, the sales volume of carbonated soft drinks had actually dropped. The public consciousness was shifting. People were becoming more focused on health and wellness. Consumers were increasingly hunting for sugar-free alternatives and low-calorie options. The problem was that Coke's existing fountain infrastructure wasn't built for this shift. At that time, only about 1% of all Coke fountains in the United States even offered Diet Coke as an option. Meanwhile, the competition from convenience stores was fierce. Walk into a 7-Eleven and you were greeted by rows of refrigerators packed with hundreds of different bottles and cans. In contrast, fountain machines were stuck offering the same limited, boring lineup of standard flavors. Coke needed a solution. They needed an idea that would revolutionize the industry. The design of the Freestyle fountain is striking. The crimson finish, the chrome accents, the aggressive sculpted lines. It looks like a piece of hardware that dreams of growing up to be a Ferrari. That aesthetic is not accidental. The machine was developed in collaboration with Pininfarina, the legendary Italian design house responsible for shaping the curves of actual Ferraris. You slide your cup into the bay beneath the dispenser. Now the game begins. The screen comes alive with dozens of bubbles, each labeled with a distinct brand. Mezzo Mix, Coca-Cola, Powerade, Lift, Fuzziti, Kinley. In total, the combinations exceed 100 drinks. In the era of your childhood, this level of variety would have been physically impossible. Traditional fast food restaurants used massive 19-liter bags of syrup for every single drink option. To offer 100 flavors, you would need a back room the size of a warehouse. Today, the Freestyle fits all these flavors into roughly 30 compact cartridges. The design of these cartridges drew inspiration from the medical technology sector, specifically where precise dosing is a matter of life and death. Much like an insulin pump delivers medication in exact micro-measured amounts, the Freestyle system utilizes micro-dosing technology. It carefully meters out concentrated ingredients and carbonated water for each pour. In theory, every drink is a chemically perfect masterpiece. However, you might have noticed that a Coke from a Freestyle machine tastes slightly different than one from a bottle or a traditional fountain. Old-school canister systems used pre-mixed syrup and sweetener. The Freestyle keeps the concentrated flavor, the sweetener, and the carbonated water in separate containers until the very last second. When you press the button, they are combined on demand. This fresh mix approach can result in a flavor profile that is distinct from other preparation methods. Standing there, staring at the bubbly interface, curiosity takes over. You came in intending to get your usual order, but the options are seductive. You tap the Powerade icon, and suddenly a new menu expands. Powerade Raspberry, Powerade Lemon, Powerade Strawberry. The paradox of choice sets in. Which one do you pick? You might even mix a drink that has never existed before, creating your own secret formula. Doesn't that make you feel special? The Freestyle is designed to be fun. It encourages exploration. It bewilders. It sparks curiosity. It provokes play. This is by design. Coca-Cola doesn't just want to facilitate a transaction. They want to manufacture a feeling. This strategy is known as experience marketing. Standing in front of this machine, you aren't just selecting a beverage. You are interacting with the brand entity. You are literally experiencing the product. Every tap, every navigation choice, every hesitation pulls you deeper into the Coca-Cola ecosystem. This is crucial because these moments ensure you remember Coke not just as a liquid, but as an emotion. Ideally, the company wants you to go home and tell your friends about the insane machine. At the cinema that lets you mix your own soda and offers a weird new flavor they absolutely have to try. Freestyle isn't the only instance of this strategy. Think about the Share a Coke campaign with names on bottles. Different execution, same philosophy. It is all part of a broader pivot, shifting Coca-Cola from being a product brand to an experience brand. Anyway, back to the cinema. You ultimately settle on a Sprite. But wait, you didn't know Sprite Cherry existed. You decide to give it a shot. You press the button, dispense the liquid, and take a sip. It's actually not half bad. Here is the kicker. You aren't the only one who was curious about Sprite Cherry. All over the globe, people made that exact same choice. Obviously, Coca-Cola didn't offer you this flavor just for the sake of variety. The entire Freestyle ecosystem functions as a gigantic, decentralized testing laboratory. Every pour, every custom mix, every flavor sampled feeds data into a massive experiment, a product sampling program on a planetary scale. In the case of Sprite Cherry, the experiment was a success. The data proved people wanted it, and it eventually moved to bottled production. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. When Coca-Cola launched the Freestyle in 2009, they packed it with technology that was ahead of its time. Reliable wireless networks weren't as ubiquitous as they are today. So Coca-Cola essentially built their own. The network they established links every single Freestyle unit directly to Coca-Cola's back-end infrastructure, which is managed through SAP software. Think of this as the company's central nervous system. It monitors activity across all departments in real time. Every single day, more than 50,000 Freestyle machines transmit data back to this brain. They report everything occurring inside the chassis, which flavors are being poured, the exact time of day they are consumed, and exactly how much syrup remains in the cartridges. You might not be the type to experiment with your drink, but millions of others are. This is precisely how Coca-Cola discovered that consumers had a high affinity for Coke Orange Vanilla, Sprite Cherry, Sprite Strawberry, and Coke Cherry Vanilla. Some of these flavors actually began as user-generated creations, combinations that people kept mixing manually at the machine. Others, like Coke Orange Vanilla, were planted by Coca-Cola. As more people selected them, the data signal grew stronger. What started as a tiny digital bubble on a touchscreen eventually graduated to full-scale mass production in bottles and cans.